Hi, good morning. Today we're making heavily brownies, a little bit different than what I made in the past. I'm using unsweetened cocoa, chocolate. Kids, please, moms, make sure your kids don't eat this. It's not sweet. It's extremely, extremely bitter. We have a guest, Misty. We call her the cat that loves to eat butter. For some unknown reason, she loves to eat butter. We don't know why, but she loves to eat butter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt unsalted butter and I'm going to add in the unsweetened chocolate into the unsalted butter. And this is going to melt. We have to wait a few minutes until the butter melts. So meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sift 1/2 cups of flour into this mixing bowl. Not good, Mister? You like butter? Okay. Now, it makes it very fluffy. What I'm going to do now is, here you go, baby. I'm going to add in 1 cup of sugar, about half, because it's going to go into the chocolate mixture. And I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder will help the brownies rise. Okay. I'm going to whisk this. I'm just going to check it. Put it back here. Okay, I'm going to whisk it with my whisker. Get everything together. We just have to wait about another minute. We have to wait about another minute for this butter to be more melted so I can put the cocoa in. But like I said, please parents, make sure your kids don't eat this. It's really does not taste very good until it has sugar put into it. It's very bitter. Okay, we have the melted chocolate mixed with butter. You have to put a stick of butter, a half a stick of unsalted butter in 2 squares. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the chocolate mixture. Now this is going to make it sweeter, and I'm going to add in some sugar. It's a whole cup of sugar. Now the next thing I'm going to add in is 2 fresh farm eggs. Okay. It's hard when you have a boo-boo and it's time to break open eggs. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix everything together. Different kind of brownie that I made in the past. This is made from unsweetened chocolate. I always use Hershey's. I love Hershey's chocolate, cocoa. Okay, get this all mixed together so we don't have any lumps or bumps. Mix this about another minute or so. It's a little bumpy. Got to be very smooth batter. Okay. See how smooth it's coming along now? Beautiful. Now I bet you this is very sweet now. Now kids they think this is candy and it's not. Now we're going to put it into a greased pan. Pan must be greased at all times. Now what's really good with this, I don't care if it's walnuts. You add walnuts into it. Misty, you're a pain in the neck today. Misty, you really don't want this, do you? You'll never forgive me if you ate that, Misty. Now, I remember when I was a little girl, one time there was unsweetened chocolate, and I accidentally took a bite of it. I tell you, I never forgot the taste of it. It was so bitter. Ugh. Okay, I'm putting this into the oven for about 15 minutes. Oven temperature is 350. I had one of those mornings. When I took it out of the oven before, something was off. It just did not look the way I wanted it to look, so I redid the whole thing again. It's basically the same thing, except you add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, not 1 teaspoon. And you also put it into the pot. And I have 2 eggs, basically it's the same thing. And I'm going to mix it together in here. I haven't made this kind of brownie in a long, long time, and we do forget as we get older. And I do make my mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients into the pot. Okay, the flour is all the same. Everything is the same. The baking powder is 1/2 teaspoon. If we were perfect, we would have millions of great chefs all over the world. And technically we do. But I didn't like the way it looked, and I'm not going to stir something that doesn't look right. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decide to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. I want to get a little zest. There we go. I admit to making mistakes, I really do. Mix up a little bit more. Okay, we're going to put into this wheat cake pan. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, when something doesn't come out right, like I said, I will not even show it. Okay, I'm putting into a 350 oven, like I did before, for about 15 minutes until the knife comes out clean. Let's just finish this up. Okay, never ever deviate from a recipe. I learned my lesson. It called for 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I use 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Don't ever deviate because it can really make a mess. These brownies were literally brownies from hell. They're now heavenly brownies. Let's put it this way. When we fixed it, we realized the mistake we made and we corrected it instantly. You put everything into the pot instead of the mixing bowl, including the dry ingredients. You whisk the dry ingredients together in a bowl, and then you stick it into the pot and you mix it together once it's off the heat. And here we have heavenly brownies. It's best served with ice cream of any flavor. Everybody, Home Country Kitchen, have a great day.